Welcome. If you are ready to deal with those unresolved issues, especially as it relates to your father, you're at the right place. Hey y'all, it's your girl Kayla Williams, and I am here today to discuss with you the number one way and the number one thing that I did in order to overcome daddy issues. Because that's why I'm here. I'm here to help young women like you overcome those daddy issues so that you can build and maintain healthy relationships, so that you can change the trajectory of your family and of generations to come. So if you were here earlier on this live, then you know that I already did this. I just finished my live about 10 minutes ago, and during that live, I'm in the middle of storytelling. I'm in the middle of my testimony. I'm in the middle of giving people good points and nuggets about discovering value, about discovering purpose, about discovering their identity, and learning to fill the voids that they have because they grew up without a father. Learning to fill that with things that are actually healthy and not external things that we tend to try to fill those voids with. And so I'm here because the entire time that I was live, my screen on my phone was going black. It kept turning off and pausing. There were some connectivity issues. I was experiencing a lot of technical difficulties that were unexplained, that I didn't usually have to deal with on my other lives. You know, my other lives was good too. Why was I having technical issues there? But you see, that wasn't the tip of the iceberg. The tip of the iceberg was that after I finished that live and I went to post it to IGTV, my phone shut down completely. And when that happens, if you don't know, if you do a live and you don't post that joint, right after you do it, it's gone forever. And so there was a point in the live, I'm in the middle of telling you, in order to discover your value, in order to discover your identity, in order to discover your purpose, you have to deal with those unresolved issues. And it starts at home. It starts with the first people that impacted your life from the moment that you were conceived. It starts from the relationship that you have with your mother, but more importantly, the relationship that you have or that you don't have with your father. And so I sought to encourage you, to empower you, to educate you on the symptoms that happen because there's a deeper sickness, colloquially known as daddy issues. And when those symptoms are dealt with, they're just symptoms. They may pop back up here and there, but if the root is dealt with, that's how you experience freedom. And in the middle of me telling y'all that, the phone go black, the screen go pause, Instagram is nowhere to be found. And for a moment, I thought, oh, it's me, like, you know, my phone tripping. I was blaming my cameraman because he not here. And then I realized, hold up, wait a minute. I'm telling these people that I've discovered my purpose. I'm telling you that God has literally put me here to help you overcome your daddy issues. Revelations 12:11 says that, and they overcame and conquered him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. You see, it's by the word of my testimony that I am able to sit here today and stand where I will be standing in the future and say, sis, it's time for you to overcome those daddy issues. I don't got daddy issues. I don't know what you're talking about, Kayla. I'm good. I got a degree. I got a good job. I got a man. I got my own place. I got this. I got that. I don't got daddy issues. Sis, can we be real? Can we be real? Because the The thing is that I understand that you didn't ask to be a statistic. I didn't ask to be a statistic. But the truth of the matter is that 1 in 3 children will grow up fatherless. And those 1 in 3 children that grow up fatherless, if it's a woman, if it's a daughter, she also will create the same patterns for her children. And they will grow up fatherless. Y'all, this daddy issue stuff runs so deep that even in the womb, the child is affected if the father is not there to be and to help and to protect and to serve the mother that is carrying his child. It's so deep. So when you say, I don't got daddy issues, sis, I say, we need to talk about that. Because if you grew up without a father, regardless of if he was incarcerated, if you never met him, if you know about him but you don't really know about him, if your parents divorced and so he decided not to participate in your life, if it doesn't matter, if he's not in your life because of alcohol or substance abuse, the point is that whatever the reason is as to why your father wasn't there, it may be 10%, 15%, 20%, 30%, maybe even 99%. But on that spectrum of percentages, you have been affected and negatively impacted by the fact that you did not grow up with a father. So I'll tell you how I feel right now. To know that I wasn't the only one that desired to have a dad at my cheerleading competitions. To know that I wasn't the only one that desired to have a dad at my volleyball games. To know that I wasn't the only one that desired to have a dad to pick me up when I fell on the playground and I see the other little girl and her dad is pushing her on the swing. To know that I wasn't the only one. That there were at least 19 million other children out there experiencing what I was experiencing. To know that I was not alone in my father complex. To know that I was not alone in my daddy issues, that changed my perspective. I moved from being driven by my lack. I moved from making decisions out of deficiencies. I moved from making decisions out of insecurities. I moved from making decisions out of seeking validation. And I moved into walking in my purpose. I moved into identity recovery. I moved into knowing my value, and all that took place because I recognized my need. I recognized that I could no longer say, I don't got daddy issues. I got a degree. I don't got daddy issues. I got a good job. I don't got daddy issues. I got a good man. All those reasons that I named to try to tell myself I don't got daddy issues, I'm not struggling with it, was a clear sign that this was something I needed to address. And I want you to know that majority of women do not address this issue. And because they don't address it, their daughters end up growing up without fathers, who have children who end up growing up without fathers. And before you know it, it's 3 and 4 generations of women, no men. You want to know why I'm so hyped right now? I'm hyped right now, y'all, because this is my second go round tonight of this, on this platform, on this IG Live, talking to y'all. And because my video got deleted, I know that God has this message for you. You may say, okay, Kayla, like you're talking about daddy issues, and you're saying like, allow me to reintroduce myself. Like what do you really want me to get out of this? And I'm gonna keep this short and sweet. I want you, wow, there it is again. It's crazy, y'all. It's crazy. My phone just went black again. I want you to know this, okay? The fact that daddy issues exist is not your fault. It's nothing that you had control over. You did not decide who your father would be. You did not decide who your mother would be. You did not decide the type of family that you would enter into. You didn't make that decision. You want to know who did? God made that decision. And he didn't make that decision by mistake, which is why I had to come to terms with the fact that the power is in my testimony. The power is in my story. When I get on the other side of my story, when I get through the heartache, when I get through the pain, that's where I'll be able to look back and say, sis, the step that you need to take first is to recognize your need. It's to ask yourself, is my current reality a result of me making decisions out of issues that I have left unresolved? For the past 3 years, I have had to persevere. I have had to really dig deep. I have had to do self-reflection in order for me to overcome daddy issues. But that was active work. For the past 15 years, I have struggled to overcome daddy issues. I have struggled to trust God and who he claims to be and who he said that he was in his word as my father, because my earthly father didn't set the example that I needed to be set. And so what am I saying? I'm saying that before the first IG Live, y'all, I had a battle. I had some spiritual warfare to overcome. I was calling Angel and Rachel. Those are my good friends that became family. And I'm telling them, how do I share this message? How do I come out to the people and say, allow me to reintroduce myself? I am Kayla Williams, and I'm here to help you overcome daddy issues so you can build and maintain healthy relationships, so you can break generational curses, so you can change the trajectory of your family. How do I come out and I say this to these young women and these people that are listening who hear my words? How do I say this when I don't want to offend my father? I don't want him to think that I think any less of him, because this is my experience. And my sister and my brother, they said so gracefully, so patiently, with so much understanding, if this is what God has called you to do, you have to speak your truth. And when you speak that truth, speak it with love. And the fact that you are even calling us 30 minutes before you're about to go live with tears in your eyes and with a shaky voice and with thoughts going through your mind about how this calling that God has put on you will affect the people that you love, and most importantly, how it'll affect your father. The fact that you're doing that tells us that you are on the right track. It tells us that this is what God has for you to do, and so go do that thing. Don't be afraid, for God has not given you the spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind. And no weapon that's formed against you will prosper when you step into the anointing that God did set on you from day one, when he decided for you to be born into the family that you were born into and to bear the last name Williams. Y'all, for so long, I was ashamed of my last name. I desired to be married so bad so I could change my last name. That's how deep my daddy issues ran. They ran so deep that when I was in kindergarten, I was trying to kiss boys in the slide just so I could feel wanted, just so I could feel accepted and desired. By the time I was in 6th grade, I called myself being in love and knowing that this was my husband and this was the person that God's going to have me to be with, just to be cheated on and lied to and rejected again. And now I'm back in the same cycle of looking for love, of looking for acceptance, of seeking validation, of low self-esteem, of insecurities, of negative self-image. All these things. I'm in this constant cycle. Why? Because just like 1 in 3 children, I grew up in a fatherless household. Just like science has proven, women who grow up without a father have to learn how to hold themselves, have to learn how to provide for themselves, have to learn how to protect themselves. Because they didn't have a father there to say, no, pull you back because you're not about to cross the street without looking both ways. Or to say, lift your head up when you walk because you need to see what's around you. People need to know that you have the confidence. I didn't have anybody to tell me that I was wanted, that I was beautiful. And because I didn't, My symptoms, they manifested as a desire to be filled by, to be accepted by and wanted by all these random guys that did absolutely nothing for me, that could not heal the heart that was broken. And so when I sit here today and I say, allow me to reintroduce myself, I am Kayla Williams, and I'm here to help you overcome. I'm here to help you overcome because you have a daughter that doesn't have to experience this. You have a grandchild that doesn't have to experience this. There is someone that there's a legacy to come through you that God is saying, I have more for you. I have an abundant life for you. I have a plan for you, a future and a hope. And if you would learn to abide in me, to trust in me, to depend on me as your father, things will change. You don't have to be a statistic. You don't have to be the statistic that says 1 in 4 girls are 4 times more likely to become teenage mothers because they grow up without a father. You don't have to be that statistic that says you will continue to be in toxic relationships. You will continue to repeat negative relationship patterns. You will continue to create codependency from anybody that you can be codependent with because you never had a dad to be there for you. You don't have to be that statistic. I say that because I refuse to be that statistic. And the moment that I recognize my need, that I was dealing with a problem that was deeper than I ever thought, the moment I did that, that's when I started to embark on a journey of identity recovery, of finding and understanding my value, and of discovering my purpose. And that's how I got here today, on August 5th, 2020. I got here today because regardless of what's going on in the world around us, God said, I have something for you to say. And I need you to be dedicated and determined to love, to speak, to teach, to educate every young woman that I will put under the sound of your voice. Every woman that I put under the sound of your voice. Every little girl that I put under the sound of your voice. Because I'm calling my daughters home. And I need you to help me do it. And when God told me that, I said, you got me. I'm here. So even though this live was supposed to be at 8 o'clock, I'm back on at 9 because this is going to get posted today. Okay? This is going to get posted today. And so I'll close with this. Thank you for joining me a second time, because spiritual warfare is high, and when the enemy is roaring about like a lion seeking whom he may devour, and he got the audacity to stop at my door, he got another thing coming, because she don't stop. The race is not for the swift, okay? The race is not for the swift. And I'm out here. I'm out here because God wants you to come home. He is your first father. It don't matter where your daddy is right now, what y'all relationship look like. We're going to talk about that the next 11 weeks. We're going to talk about all the symptoms. We're going to talk about how to deal with it. We're going to talk about how to overcome it. But I want you to know right now, your homework, if you so choose to accept this mission and this challenge, is to record a video telling me if you have recognized that you have daddy issues and if you desire to deal with them. If anything that I said throughout this entire time being here was helpful to you, please send me a video. Please send me some words of affirmation and let me know that this was a blessing to you in whatever way. But primarily my request is that you decide to break the cycle today and address any form of daddy issues that you may be experiencing in your life. So I want you to know I'm here for you, and continue to follow, to look on your feed, to come to my page, because God has a word for you. Your real daddy, he got a whole, y'all don't know what he cooking up, okay? He cooking right now. Cooking of some good things for y'all. So thank you for joining, sis. I'm gonna try to save it again. You at the beginning, I was trying to I was telling everybody that as soon as I ended the previous live, my phone just crashed. It literally just crashed, just went black. And then when that happens, you can't. I was trying to post it to IGTV and I couldn't do that. So I was like, yo, I can't be stopped. Like, I can't be stopped. I won't be stopped. I must keep pushing. And I decided to go back live again because I know that we have some new faces here. One Woman Squad literally has been with me from day one. Like, for real. From day one. I mean, 3 years ago. Encouraging me to be bold and to speak out and to be loud and be proud about this message and this gift that God has given me. Even though I didn't know back then what it was. I was just on fire for the Lord. I thank you for your support. I thank you for your support. I really do. And Onaja, welcome. I am going to save this. I'm going to post this. Monica Rose, also welcome. I'm gonna post this, y'all. And I'm gonna be real with you. If the enemy try me this time, it's a wrap. It's a whole wrap. At this point, he reaching. And I can't help him at this point. I gotta keep pushing. So I'm going to end this live now, and I am going to post this to IGTV. Pray that there are no technical difficulties. And I we had literally a warfare session right before this live. So we ain't playing out here. We out here. We got people that need to overcome daddy issues so they can really draw close to their real daddy, and that's God. And so I want you to know that, Monica Rose, I encourage you to, once I post this, go back, check it out. And also, if you feel led to, send me that video and let me know if you are ready to recognize that you have daddy issues and why. Tell me why. What is your why? I know what my why is, but I find that it's helpful when we can define it for ourselves, why we want to overcome a challenge or a deeply rooted issue that we have. So I will get the holy oil, okay? I'll get the holy oil. I just want y'all to know I love y'all, and I thank you. I thank you for being here. Thank you for rocking with me. I'm going to end this tonight. Thank you for your prayers. I pray that God will give you a sweet slumber and a restful night, and that you wake up refreshed, rejuvenated, and revived, all so that whoever you encounter on tomorrow will be blessed by the joy of the Lord that is within you. So I love y'all. Keep walking by faith and not by sight. And remember,